of her where she comes out of that front shoulder. Maybe would like to clean her up just a bit, ideally up through that front 1/3. Probably right on the edge of having enough past ideal in terms of her condition, but still really nice presented female today that I think excels this class in her overall power and mass. The next two heifers in line, I think that gets relatively close for me. I think the two heifers are very similar in their design. I'm going to go with the heifer that's got just a bit more overall power in terms of her performance to this stage in their lives. Maybe just a bit truer off her hind legs when she gets out on the move, but probably splitting the hairs there. Just a really close pair because they're so similar in their kind in terms of both are very adequate in terms of their muscle and rib shape, really wide down their top. Two really broody kind of a heifers that stand second and third there. The heifer that we're going to end the class with, certainly appreciate her design, her cleanness up through her front shoulder, her cleanness in her lines. Certainly a heifer that's maybe a bit more ideal in her finish than some of the heifers ahead of her, but just giving up too much in terms of her lower 1/3 and width of base when you get behind her.
Over on the Red Angus side, our group of two females first went to Country Acres Farm, second to J. Ricky, third to Country Acres Farm, and fourth to Pelton Hills Farm. Now in the ring, we should have a junior bull calf exhibited by J. Ricky, and the other bull calf should be to ringside.
On the Hereford side of the ring, we have results of the early summer yearling heifer class. In first place is Hawk Rider 37JET, bred by Hawk Livestock, owned by Lane Caddy. In second place, we have GGSC Ritzy 32JET, bred by Grimmel Girls Show Cattle and owned by Sophia Taylor. In third place, we have DPT Fresca, owned and shown by Peyton Reinhardt. And in fourth place, we have PA Sylvie, owned and shown by Jacob Bowen. We've also selected our champion intermediate heifer calf, Hawk Rider 37JET, bred by Hawk Livestock and owned by Lane Caddy. Our reserve champion intermediate heifer calf was GGSC Ritzy 32JET, bred by Grimmel Girls Show Cattle and owned by Sophia Taylor. In the ring now is our April junior yearling heifers.
Getting started here at your Red Angus Bull Show, guys. Really extremely high quality single entry out here. Young ladies brought to us again. He's just a calf, bull calf, January bull calf, I believe. And again, he's not having a lot of fun out here on the halter and giving her a handful there. But I think when he does relax, here's one that has a lot to offer from a future herd sire prospect. When you start to study the hip structure there and that rear leg structure, when he gets comfortable and when he asserts himself down on the move, I think there's a tremendous amount of offer in terms of length of body, depth of body, spine length. Good looking bull there when she gets him when he wants to relax. He's again fighting that halter, wanting to get up in that top, and I think that's just his disposition out here today. High quality bull prospect there, guys. Thank you.
Results of the Red Angus side, junior bull calves. First and champion went to J. Ricky with G.C. Ricola.
Red Angus side again, guys, in your bull show. We got a fall calf out here in this particular division. Extremely high quality bull prospect out here. You love how smooth this guy is and how much muscle and shape and dimension that he does have to offer. Big top bull, stout pin bull, one that, again, he combines that with some structural integrity when you set that one in motion. He's super smooth up through his front end in terms of his blade and the angle of his blade up through his shoulder. Really has a lot to offer, I think, as a junior bull prospect. We'll get in here, just 2 entries, I believe, in your Red Angus Bull Show. I'll tell you the 2 I like in that particular order. Thank you. Supreme Drive here, guys, in the Red Angus Bull Show. Again, not the numbers, but we've got 2 really high-quality bull prospects, 2 that I think are very similar in how they're put together, and that's certainly in a good way. That January bull calf, you love that growth pattern that he's on. That's going to be a good-sized bull when he gets bigger, when he matures out, and you kind of picture him later on down the road. There's a lot of future in that one. You love the length of body and structural integrity that he brings. Tremendously good-looking bull from the side in terms of chest-to-flank ratio there. Again, and then the advantage in terms of muscle, shape, and dimension. That September fall-born yearling, he's tremendous in terms of his muscle, in terms of his top shape. He combines that in terms of being smooth and adequate up through his shoulder right there. I'm going to go ahead and give the advantage to the older bull. That September bull is going to be champion. We're going to go ahead and use the January for reserve. Thanks, guys.
For me, this is probably the most challenging placing that we've had today. And if you want to reverse order on these top 2, I certainly would think that you could probably have some legitimate discussion on it. 2 really good females. For me, I'm going to go with a heifer, kind of a little give and take, tug of war in my head. I think a heifer that's just in terms of her lower 1/3, probably just a bit more in terms of her overall mass. When I get behind her, just a little bolder sprung maybe than the heifer that we're going to have in second. Both the heifers are certainly adequate. In terms of movement, I wouldn't criticize either a whole lot. If I gave an advantage, I think the heifer in second, probably just a little truer in terms of her foot placement and the way she gets out on the move. Certainly a really long-sided, really feminine heifer that I like very much in terms of her side view and eye appeal. As I said, maybe just not quite as the natural depth that I have in the heifer just above her. Maybe not quite in terms of her width of base, quite as wide, but 2 really good females. that I would take both home with me and be very, very happy to have. The next heifer in line here in third, certainly a heifer that has some width of dimension, just in terms of her structural design, her femininity up to her front 1/3, as compared to the two heifers in front of her, maybe not quite as ideal. She doesn't flex off those hind legs and maybe cover her track quite as well. Heifer that's carrying certainly plenty of condition for me today. Then the next two heifers in line, just in terms of their muscle mass and overall dimension, just giving up a bit relative to this class. Two really good heifers to lead this class off, though.
Congratulations to FTZS Loretta 101J for winning Class 16, our April Junior Yearling Heifers. That heifer was bred by Fitz Genetics and is owned by Logan Caddy. In second place, we have GMC Macy 5J, owned and bred by Kaylee Nicole Shelton. In third place, we have Dassault Jenna 161J, bred by Sullivan Ranch and owned by Briley Miller. In fourth place, we have WD 8112 Hope 1119, bred by Reagan Dunn and owned by Benjamin Craft. In fifth place, we have AGP Rosalind's Amera 11A, bred by Abigail Patrick and shown by Cole Blevins. Now entering the ring is our March Junior Yearling Heifers. Attention Hereford exhibitors in Class 18. Break 3, your late February yearling heifers need to be in the make-ready area. Break 3, your late February yearling heifers need to be in the make-ready area. Break 2, you're on deck. Break 1, which is your January heifers, you will show as the last break in this class.
While we got a little bit of downtime, I'd like to thank the following people for helping in each ring. Over on our Hereford side, the Maryland Hereford Association they run this show pretty smoothly for me. We got Tina, Ashley, Peter, Bobby, Andy, and Chris. So thank you very much and Lee Cheney. Thank you guys very much for taking the Hereford show off my shoulders. On the other side, on our Red Angus side, we got Rachel in the back and Donnie Braun out here out front. Thank you again to all the help. And also, I'd like to thank Robert from State Fair for diligently helping us get set up, along with Dale Sheets. So thank you guys for all your help. And I have Miss Denise up here at the table with me as well. Results of pair of calves from the Red Angus side. First went to Jay Rickey. Second to Brad Ramsey. This is our last class of Red Angus. Then we can go down and take pictures. You will come in from the back of the picture area. We're going to shift the Herefords down a little bit. As soon as the Red Angus are done, we're going to shift the Herefords down just a tad so we can take the Red Angus pictures. So in the ring now, we have our last class of Red Angus, which is our Breeders' Best 5. And then we will take pictures, and you guys will come in from the dock side around the back.
We're going to conclude the Red Angus show, guys, and those sitting ringside for the farms that are involved in these group classes, my hat's off. Tremendous groups here in terms of quality and depth. But these folks have had early mornings. If you're just in here taking out on the fair and you think this gig is easy to come in here and get these cattle to look like this on show day at the Maryland State Fair, you're highly mistaken. This takes months, and in some cases a year and a half in terms of breeding these cattle, farther back than that in terms of planning these matings and getting these cattle, be fortunate enough to get the cattle out here that look like this, and then it comes to getting them presented like this, and the hours and hours of dedication that it takes to your individual breeds, to your breeding program, and to your customers that you have out here. My sincere compliments to everybody involved here in the Red Angus show today. We've had a tremendous show. This is the last class, but again, I wanted to compliment the breeders out here of the Best Five Head and the breeders of the entire Red Angus show today. My sincere compliments to everybody involved here. Congratulations, guys.
On the Red Angus side, Country Acres Farm got first, and Jay Ricky got second. If we once we finish this Hereford class, we'll let the Red Angus start taking their pictures. We're going to shift the Herefords down a little bit. We have the luxury of doing it this show. Attention, Charlet exhibitors, we will start promptly at 11 a.m.
I think we're going to have some concessions in this class. I think the heifer, though, that we're going to start off with, when you combine the traits that I'm looking for here today, I think she puts the most positive things relative to this class together in terms of her structure, in terms of her muscle mass, maybe not quite as deep, but she's probably one of the leanest conditioned heifers in the class. In that regard, I like her well. Maybe not perfect from hooks to pins. Might when she stops and sets up, she maybe crawls up just a little bit in her top, but I certainly like the refinement up through her one third, and as compared to the rest of the class, I think she's certainly adequate with her depth, certainly got enough muscle to win this class. The next two heifers in line, very different in their kind. I'm going to go ahead and use the heifer that I think maybe not as easy to look at in terms of profile, but still functional in terms of her structure. Heifer, I think, as you compare to the heifer just below her, Certainly when she gets out on the move, a bit more fluid in her movement, covers her track a little more adequately, just a little looser up in that spine as she moves off. Still a really long-sided heifer. In terms of her muscle, maybe I can see that she's not as thick as the heifer just below her. The heifer below her here, a heifer that certainly in terms of her mass is probably one of the thickest heifers in the class, if not the thickest. I'd just like to give her a bit more angle in that front shoulder. She tends to want to tip forward just a bit, maybe refine her up through that 1/3. But I certainly appreciate this heifer in terms of her muscle mass and width of top and depth. Just a heifer that structurally I'd like to redesign her a bit. The next few heifers down the line here, certainly heifers that have some pieces and parts, just maybe don't put everything together as well as the heifers above them. This heifer here, certainly a heifer that's attractive to look at, certainly adequate in her movement, just not quite as overall powerful in terms of her makeup, in terms of width of base, width of top, spring of rib. Really a nice class of heifers though.
All right, Hereford exhibitors, as we start class 18, we're going to shift down the ring a little bit to allow the red Angus folks to get to the backdrop and take pictures. So we're all going to shift down in the ring a little bit. And our class 17 March Junior Yearling Heifers, and congratulations, first place goes to FBF 6026 Diane 2111 ET. Bred by Foggy Bottom Cattle Company and owned by KS Cattle Company. And second place goes to GSF Marilyn Monroe J86 ET. Bred by Gemstone Farm and owned by Miley Lambert. In third place goes to GGSC Charlotte 17J ET. Bred by Grimmel Girl Show Cattle and owned by Sophia Taylor. In fourth place goes to AGP Cherryberry 105A, bred by Sisters Cattle Company and owned by Garrett A. Blevins. In fifth place goes to Marben's HCC Flamingo J29, bred by Tara L. Hausner and owned by Chloe Patrick. In sixth place goes to TVF Layla 3J,